Que paso, Freight fans, and welcome to the horror show. I am Jaime En Fuego. I just got done doing a interesting installment of News with Booze with Mr. Cecil Laird, and I'm here to talk about a film that I recently saw that I actually think might have been in my tops for 2017. Yes, we are talking the Con. Yes, Best Director for Sofia Coppola. Yes, Posterity of Francis, and her film The Beguiled, which was a remake of a 1971, if I recall correctly, but it was also based on a book, and this is a very intriguing character study of a Civil War conflict that is going down, and a soldier in from the north, from the north side, finding himself in the south, and kind of hiding out and so on, and just, I don't know, trying to weasel his way through a situation where he would probably end up dead or in imprisonment or something crazy like that. So we always talk about major impressions. We always talk about acting. We talk about production design, music, and so on and so forth with this. So if I'm going to talk just predominant impressions here, I was a big fan of this film. Sofia Coppola, who also did the Virgin Suicides, great job, like tremendous job within this. It's interesting because it's a very self-contained film, and Colin Farrell assuming the role of this northern soldier who is really just kind of like a called-in person from Ireland who isn't even part of the North. He's just fighting for them, and he's in the South, and the whole Confederate aspect of those generals coming through and checking all the different spots where there's women who are just alone and raising children because of the fact that all the men are out fighting. Very great dichotomy, tremendous performances, but very, very just slow build and opportunistic aspect of, without spoiling anything, that's where it's really tough. The way he kind of plays his situation, being a wounded soldier, being in this situation where he has pretty much this whole estate of beautiful ladies that are headed by Nicole Kidman, and there's various others like, Kirsten Dunst, and so he's intriguingly conniving is the best way that I could describe it. And so this film is incredibly acted, beautifully directed. It deserved the best director distinction that it received at Cannes last year for Sofia Coppola. And if we're gonna jump from overall impressions into acting, you really have to give it to Farrell, man. The way he is able to charm each of these different women and girls, because it's pretty much, they're all females here, and whether they're somebody that would be like a little sister, somebody who would be I guess older sister, not quite in the trying to go after territory, and then others that are older and you kind of just know he can charm too much. His performance is fantastic as they try to help him recuperate, and they kind of can hand him over at certain points, and you will see that they have opportunities, and maybe they do, maybe they don't, but once again, trying not to spoil here, which is tough, especially. Nicole Kidman is breathtaking elegant as the woman who heads up this this particular spot, where there's lots of almost I think there might even be a wife or two. It's not just all children of people who are out there fighting, or everything in the Civil War. But amazing performances through and through. Kirsten Dunst and her characters, hell, not even just her, pretty much all of the women, and the way that they become so smitten with Colin Farrell. He owns it. He commands the screen in a way where you feel for him, and Yeah, yeah, you can see why even these women who are supposed to hate him are charmed by him, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, if we're talking like effects or anything of that nature, there's not really anything to talk about, especially being a period piece like we would expect. Cinematography is beautiful, though. The estate where they filmed this at is breathtaking. The inner shots of the house are terrific and really impressive, and it shows that there's almost like different sectors of identity depending on which girl resides there, which is very dope. Yeah, it's Sofia Coppola. I mean, she comes from a line along with her brother, that has studied under the tutelage of a father that has done some of the most incredible visual movies, working with amazing cinematographers that we have ever seen. And it doesn't matter if it's horror or drama or whatever. This is a film that, with its subject matter, don't go in thinking incredible horror or something like that. We're covering this on the horror show, guys, but approach this with the goggles of like a mother kind of thing, or maybe not even so much that, just a something more on the dramatic and thriller side, and not something that's gonna just wow and scare the F out of you. This is more of a slow burn character study of people doing evil things, and just motives and impressions and so on and so forth. So if we want to talk score, obviously Phoenix did the score. Phoenix is a popular indie band. Sophia is notorious for being interlocked with the indie circles and so on and so forth. I think she was even married to Spike Jonze, if I remember correctly, for a few years, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it's ethereal, it's majestic, it's tone building when it needs to, and this is definitely a movie where I wish so full-heartedly that I could spoil. It wouldn't really warrant an entire spoilerific review or anything like that, so that's where we have a problem here. But I was really sad when this came out, and the fact that acting was tremendous, story was very, very tremendous, despite the fact that it was a remake, obviously, as I mentioned. Beautifully shot despite the self-contained aspect of it. The score was great. This was one that, along with the name of the film is totally eluding me. It had Christian Bale. It had the girl from Gone Girl. It wasn't Allies, or maybe it was. In any event, there was a couple of these like period piece type of films that dealt with horrific aspects that weren't full-on genre cinema, honestly, that I felt like needed some more attention and consideration and admiration from the Academy, and they didn't receive it, which was kind of craptastic. So The Beguiled, especially the way Colin Farrell works so many angles, and that's, I guess, kind of a spoiler. The man works a lot of angles in this movie. It's fascinating. It really, really is. And yeah, there's a tremendous female cast alongside him. So that's all that I can really condense it down to, because this is a very simple film in premise and execution, but both are spot on and razor sharp, especially with execution. So yeah, I'm disappointed Miss Coppola's movie did not get the sort of recognition that I thought it really should have been awarded. But yeah, beyond that, I'm going to wrap it up and say that, definitely check out The Beguiled, the 2017 remake. It was awesome. I've been Jaime En Fuego. As always, social media sectors where there is Twittering and Facebooking and YouTubing and so on and so forth. Yep, you can find me there. Hit the bell, y'all. Check it out. It is an important thing to do if you want to see new episodes of the program I do called Hail to Stephen King, which is pretty rad status. And if you are fans of Cy King, that will entice you thoroughly. Man, we have Let's Plays. We have just everything under the horror show banner, which you would be stoked and excited about. And that's what we have strived to in the 4+ years that we have done this program. So hit the bell, like, share, subscribe, all that coolio shizzle. And until the next time that we get to talk horror, I've been Jaime. You have been awesome. And until next time, Sin Amigos, stay scared.